Is our soul created at the time of our conception? That means when the parents unite, when their gametes they have emitted unite to form our little complete genetic being? This is a real question. As we are Catholics, and as Catholics unite faith and reason together, and that here we cannot know when the soul is created by an experience, it does not show itself like that, it is of a spiritual order. So first of all, I would say that to make things easier, we must affirm that the faith's dogmatic benchmarks since 1987 have settled this question. We owe this to the Holy Father John Paul II. He wanted to affirm it in his manifest fight against abortion, which in the West had become almost a good. So in his encyclical Donum Vitae, number 6, he begins by asserting this: the spiritual soul of every man is immediately created by God. And then, he had not been precise enough, for some bishops said, well yes, it is directly created by God, in the sense that it is God, and it does not come from evolution. So to clarify things, in 1995, in Evangelium Vitae, so another document, this is what Pope John Paul II says. Even if the presence of a spiritual soul cannot be ascertained by any experimental means, under a microscope for example, the conclusions of science on the human embryo provide a valuable indication for rationally discerning a personal presence. From the first appearance of human life, how could a human individual not be a human person? And the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, in order to clarify things even more clearly, in the instruction Dignitas Personae, the dignity of the person, says this: it is necessary to take as fundamental criteria of Donum Vitae, and therefore what had not been so precise, to judge moral questions concerning the human embryo like this: the fruit of the human generation from the first moment of its existence, that is to say from the constitution of the zygote, demands the unconditional respect morally due to the human being and his bodily and spiritual totality. So, the consequence of all this is that we must say in our Catholic faith that when parents unite, when the union has resulted in fertilization, it is not 3 days, it is not 3 months later, as taught St. Thomas Aquinas, it is at the moment that the soul is created by God. Is it after 3 minutes, 10 minutes? We don't know. It is not a problem. Even if we don't know chronometrically, when it happens immediately after conception. And that is why the sexual act is so sacred in the eyes of the Church, because 3 people finally cooperate in it: the man and the woman who unite in their love. Normally, it should be like that. And God who creates the soul of the child as soon as conception is made. It should be added that from a philosophical point of view, we see that as soon as the fertilization is done, all the biological numbers are there, and that the development will go smoothly, gradually, until giving an adult of 60, 80 years old. So there isn't a time when all of a sudden a breakout would come and a spiritual soul would be created. The human being is constituted as soon as he is there, as soon as he is conceived.